Yo, yo, what's up, family? The power is ours. It's King Leon X, the Human Liberator. This is episode 95. Episode 95 of Take Charge of Your Life. Take Charge of Your Life is our midday self-mastery, midday motivation series where we make the choice. Every day we make the choice to choose. We make the choice to choose. Choose what? We choose prosperity over poverty. We choose abundance over lack. We choose self-confidence over self-imposed limitation. We choose good health over sickness, right? We choose definite major purpose over wandering generality. We choose to examine our life. We choose to reevaluate our life. We choose to determine our own destiny. We choose to become our greatest version. We choose to create our personal legend. That's what today's episode is about. Creating your personal legend, right? Create your personal legend. That's what it's about. That's what life's about anyway, right? Because it's like this. When you die and everyone that knows you dies, when you die and everyone that knows you dies, if you haven't done something significant and made a difference, it will be like you were never born. When you die and everyone that knows you dies, if you haven't done something significant and made a difference, it will be as if you were never born. Maybe that's okay for you. Maybe that's okay for you, but for me, that's not okay. For me, I choose significance. Or I choose to increase in value. I choose to take charge of my life, and I surround myself with people who choose to do the same. See, we know that life, even in its longest, is still short. Life, even in its longest, is short. Therefore, how do I have the nerve to point blame, give excuses, or complain? How about I just understand and know that and take full responsibility that I attracted all of these experiences to me through my past thoughts, actions, beliefs, karma, through me or the genetics that make me. And these experiences are attracted to me in order for me to overcome challenges and recognize opportunity. And when I recognize opportunity, then I take action. And when I'm in the winters and when I'm in the difficulties and the times of confusion, I know that since I attracted this, it's not going to be more than I can bear. So I must, instead of complaining, instead of wishing it didn't happen, how about I just get stronger from it? How about I get wiser from it? How about I get better from the situation? You see. So when we're talking about creating our personal legend, remember, in the last episode, we was talking about you get to choose your own purpose. Like, your purpose is what you say it is. Your purpose is what you say it is, family. So if you don't say a purpose, if you don't declare a purpose, if you don't get specific, if the setup is sowing and reaping, right? Planting and then getting the fruit. If that's the setup, if the purpose is, or if the setup is your purpose is what you say it is, what happens if you never declare a purpose? What happens if your reality is just a compilation of other people's opinions and other people's interpretations of what you should be? What if you never went inward and decided for yourself what your purpose was? What would happen? I'm here to tell you that you'll end up broke and embarrassed. And you'll be explaining why you're not doing well instead of celebrating your accomplishments and being a resource and an asset to those who might need help. But we can't help anyone out of a situation that we haven't helped ourselves out of. Right? So when it comes to creating our personal legend, obviously it starts with definite major purpose, right? To accomplish anything that we want in life, we have to write it down, a clear, specific goal. We have to set a date, attach a date to it. Once we attach a date to it, then it's timely, and it allows us to for it to be measurable, and it allows forces that we don't even know how it even works. But it's in the world that's unseen, some psychological, metaphysical things that happen when you write down and you're clear and you set a time for when it needs to be done. Right? And then you list the obstacles that you have to overcome in creating this personal legend. And then you list the groups of people and the organizations that you need to work with. And then you list the knowledge and the skills that are required and the information that you need. Right? And then you create a plan of action. And then you list why it's important to you. What's in it for you? Right? What's in it for you? I just did that real fast. You might not even caught all that. But I just told you how to accomplish any goal in 7 steps. But anyway, right now, when it comes to creating our personal legend, that means like we are on the road to our best stuff. Like people be celebrating, like if I lived in my past, my past was awesome. My past was like major. It's like I done so many things, 42 states, 7 countries, you feel me? Almost 200 cities in the last 2 years. Wow, it's incredible. I love it. TV, interviews, radio shows, studio, fun, magnificent things. But if I lived in my past, then I would stay there. I would stay there if I can continue to talk about my past and it's just recreating those types of circumstances. Whereas when I have a definite major purpose and I'm creating my personal legend, then it's always pulling me forward. In 2012, I said, my chief aim is to positively influence the minds of the youth, create an achievement-driven culture, and lead the next generation into a global renaissance. So that's part of my personal legend. Part of my personal legend is becoming one of the most wealthiest, powerful, influential black men of the 21st century, or of all time, and the most powerful, wealthiest, influential black man of the 21st century. Because I know what results are expected of me, and I'm committed to dedicating my life in accumulating those results, and to achieve those things, all I have to do is just practice a few simple disciplines every day, and these things will multiply. Right? Success is something that we attract by the person we become. What we become is better than what we get. Who we become is better than what we get. The type of person that I'm becoming in pursuit of those 2 things that I just said to you, the type of person that I'm becoming in pursuit of that, see, you would have had to know me from years back. You would have had to know me. You would have had to know me to see the transition. You would have had to know me. If you didn't know me, then you probably wouldn't know. You probably wouldn't feel it. You probably wouldn't see the deliberate, significant improvement and impact and the evolution. You feel me? You probably wouldn't appreciate it. But then again, how often do we appreciate the evolution of others, right? We can only appreciate anything from another to the extent in which we appreciate ourselves. So when it comes to creating our personal legend, like we were all born the same way. We was all born the same way. Dumb, naked, and speechless. Right? Dumb, naked, and speechless. Everything else was learned. We was all born the same way. We was all born the same way. Dumb, naked, speechless. Everything else was learned. Everybody knows that. Everyone should know that, right? We was all born the same way. Dumb, naked, and speechless. Everything else was learned. right? If that's the case, then that means no one's better than you or no one's smarter than you. If that's the... See, breath, right? I'm breathing, you're breathing. Without breath, we wouldn't even be aware of each other. We wouldn't even be conscious of each other. Right? And since we're man, or since we're a spirit that's inside of a body, and we get to carry around this physical vessel, this meat suit, for an extended period of time, in our breath, right? And our breath contains all power. You feel me? Our breath is all power. Our breath is life. I promise. Remove breath from your body, and what happens? Have you ever been to a funeral? Have you ever been to a funeral? If you go to a funeral, next time you go to a funeral, I want you to look at the body. And I want you to look at it clear. And I want you to realize that breath, it is breath that has left. Breath. Breath has left. Breath is spirit. Breath is all power. You are breath. Right? Without that, breath precedes all. Like without that, you wouldn't even have the consciousness or awareness of to even interpret anything, to even complain or celebrate, to even grow, to touch, to taste, to smell, to hear, to think, for your organs to even function. It's 20 billion cells being created in my body every second. Think about that. 20 billion cells being created every second in your body. Wow. You don't even think about it. Wow. Wow. That sounds more powerful than the computer. But guess who created the computer? Someone with breath. And since they have breath and mind, if you have breath and mind and body, breath, mind, and body, mind, matter, and spirit, I promise you could connect yourself to the all mind. And when you connect yourself to the all mind, which you already are, you're not disconnected from the all mind. You just have to remember, because it is all atoms, right? It is all energy. It is all vibrations, vibrating super fast, put together in different forms. So, if we have all this power and it's just inside of it's on the inner. In the breath, we have breath and we have word, and we know that life and death is in the power of the tongue. And our purpose is what we say it is. Then literally, what's the issue? The issue is we don't want to believe in our own personal power. That's the issue. That's the truth. We don't we'll say yeah, we kind of believe in our personal power. But for real, you wouldn't drive or people say that they know their personal power or whatever and they believe in it. But do you know it? Because if you believed it, you would radiate it. It would be coming through your pores and your actions. If you believed it, the people would get that from you. They'll be like, if you knew it, then it would be actions. You see? So we have to stop worrying. You don't have to worry. You have to figure it out. Don't worry, figure it out. You're connected to all mind. You have breath. No matter what circumstance, that you go through, someone has been through something similar, has overcame it, and maybe the person who put you in that circumstance also has breath. So since they have breath, and since they have mind and body just like you, then they're not more how can they be more powerful than you? They're just a reflection of you. This experience that is created is just for you to either get stronger, better, wiser, or radiate your greatness. But will you do it? Will you do it though? Do you have the will to do it? Have you been beaten that much? Have you been beaten that much? Seriously? That you'll just give up on your goals? Seriously? You'll give up on your future? You'll give up on your $1 million dreams? In America? Seriously? For what? Have you been beat that bad? Have you ever heard of a comeback? Seriously? It's like, yeah, I just wanted to be dramatic right there to prove that point. But for real, seriously, do you have the will to do it? Like, what will it take? All you have to do is find out what it will take and then commit to that and then fail your way to success. Fail your way to success. Hey, I studied a lot of autobiographies and a lot of successful people who were born in modest means and then within a period of time, a measurable amount of time, accumulated multi-millions, billions, right? Went from generational poverty to generational wealth in one lifetime. And when I study them and all their stories, they all had setbacks or what we would call failures or obstacles or losses or whatever. And so then I've learned that success is nothing but bouncing from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. Right? Failure is feedback. Failure is feedback to show you that you haven't become that type of person yet. To win, 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 win. I'm here to tell you that winning is a habit. And we learn from losing. So we can continue to win. And win, and win, and win, and win. Winning is not a sometime thing. Winning is not a sometime thing. It's an all the time thing. You don't win once in a while, just like you don't do things right once in a while. You do them right all the time. Winning is a habit. Excellence is a habit. We are what we repeatedly do, family. What do you repeatedly do? What are you committed to? Do you have a definite major purpose and a personal legend that's going to pull you forward? That's going to pick you up when you get knocked down? When life happens to you? Because I'm here to tell you life happens to everybody. And you really think your problems is that bad. But if you're in America, I promise your problems ain't that bad. If your problems is with human relationships and dealing with relationships and people or self-imposed by people, I promise that if you're in America, you still have conditions and it's still way better than anywhere else in the fucking world. Okay? And you could fucking change your shit just like that. All you have to do is take charge of your life and make the choice. Right? Someone could be going through those same interpersonal conflicts in relationships, but live in Bangladesh or some other shit where they don't have an opportunity to change their situation immediately. You see? If you're casual about life, I'm just here to tell you, if you're casual about life, if you're casual about your future, if you're casual about your health, if you're casual about your finances, if you're casual about your personal legend and your goals, if you're casual about your time management, I'm here to tell you that you'll end up a casualty. Life responds to specificity, specificness, clarity, deliberate action, deliberate words. That's why we have words. Each word has a meaning. Each meaning of a word is like mathematics. It adds and adds and adds and adds to create an effect. So, in order to create your personal legend, I'm about to end this video. I'm sure my 15 minutes is up. Yeah, see, look. Alright. You just have to have or develop a unapologetic, like, I can make it happen attitude. Like, I'll make it happen no matter what attitude. Like, I can, I will, I must attitude. Because my goals are that important to me. Like, what I've decided for my life and my future is that important to me that I will overcome any obstacle. Anything that life throws at me, I will eat it, I will overcome it, and come out stronger, better, wiser, because I choose to. Because I made the choice, family. Any obstacle, I will just consider as a simple detour. It's just a detour to my goal and a challenge to my profession. How dare you, life? How dare you, obstacle? Think you could stop me? Think you can stop me? You think you can stop me? You think you can stop God? Seriously, obstacle? Yeah, right. You might have got me this time, but guess what? I learned. And guess what? I got feedback. And guess what? I got the message. And guess what? I changed the I switched the causes. Guess what? I identified the causes that created those results. And guess what? I prepared myself. And guess what? I came out stronger and wiser and better. And guess what? Now that's a good story. Now that's a good story. Something that I just did and had to overcome. And guess what? If that thing comes back into me again, then it would be like, no problem. No problem. No problem. Because my personal legend demands me to be a no problem type of person. Hey, that's no problem. Fix the problem. Oh, what's the solution? We could just find a solution. It's no big deal. You're still breathing, right? Okay, so if you're still breathing, like, you want to choose to complain or choose to be grateful for breath, like, that's the number one thing, and then all that other shit could take care of itself. It takes care of itself when you decide clearly about what you want. It takes care of itself when you decide clearly what you want in your finances, your family, your social contribution, your legacy, your recreation, right? Your spiritual, your intellectual development, mental, personal, professional development, right? Your spiritual life. When you get clear about these things, clear enough to write them down in one sentence, then, and you're clear about what you're willing to give in order to receive these things, I promise it takes care of itself. The reason that we're feeling a lot of conflict and people be having a lot of disharmony is because they don't have the formula right. They don't have the formula. Like, you know those little things with little kids? You put the squares in the square, triangle in the triangle, circle in the circle, star in the star. Like, you over here trying to put the star in the square and the shit don't work. And like, yeah, you might could force it in there, but damn, how you gonna get it out now if you need to? You can't even play the right game. You can't even do it. You know, it's hard. It's like that because we on the wrong formula. So when we switch to the right formula, we get switched to the right plan, then we'll find out it's a lot easier and it's a lot more fulfilling. And that's what I learned. This is why I provide this type of information that I provide and take charge of your life. And it's King Leon X. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to my Facebook live stream. And go to my website, KingLeonX.com. Until we speak again, remember, the only limitation that you have is the one that you set up in your own mind, or that you allow others to set up for you. It's 2017. Like, if you live in America especially, like, you got the power is yours. Don't ask what the system could do for you. Don't ask what the government could do for you. Don't ask what the people could do for you. Ask what you can do for the people. Service to many leads to greatness, right? Service to many leads to greatness. What value will you bring? What social contribution will you bring to bring the world back to love? What value will you bring to and create and contribute to bring the world back to harmony and peace and compassion and righteousness? What role will you play in the global renaissance? Don't wish for less problems. I'm here to tell you that it's some people who have way more money than you and way more access to more people, and their whole job and their whole purpose of life is to create problems. So don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skill. Wish for more skills. Don't wish for less. Don't wish for less challenges. Wish for more wisdom to overcome the challenges. Wish for adventure. Wish for the adventure. Wish for matter of fact, don't wish for less challenges. Wish for more challenges. Because when you know the beauty and the power of a challenge, and you're not a coward, and you have courage, then you can face the challenge head on. And every challenge that I ever been through, I know it made me better. I know it made me stronger. I know it made me wiser. So remember that for the rest of your day and for the rest of your life. All right? Stay grateful.